As a result of my videos which I'm making, as a result of my page reflection, I wish to bring that truth, the truth of how people should live, of how we should live in harmony. For me, I hate something which is very chaotic, which is not in harmony, where there is no peace, where a person is not truthful. You find you have a leader but is not authentic leader. We are living in a corrupt world where there is a lot of people who are just thinking about themselves and even sometimes judgmental. Now, I want to bring my truth, my belief, because if I don't talk about my belief, nobody will talk about it. Now, if you also believe in a harmonious life, in abundance life, in a peaceful life, lovely life, I think you should join me as we continue reflecting on how we should live and what we should do, especially for our developed countries like Uganda, my country. Sometimes I cry in the bed because many things which are taking place, and some we don't know them, but they are really happening. And today I want to reflect about unity. Unity. Today I have a story. This story is about the mousetrap. I know some of you have heard about it, but we can borrow a lot of knowledge and a lot of moral theories which we can learn from it. Once upon a time, there was a man, and this man was disturbed by a rat. He called his wife to discuss about it. They agreed to buy a trap to trap this rat. When they laid this trap, they laid it under the bed where there is darkness. Now this rat, uh, when the rat discovered that there is a trap in under the bed, he was surprised that people are going to kill him. Now the first thing he thought about was to look for help. He went direct to Mr. Hen. Mr. Hen, can you help me? They have put a trap under my bed. Can you come and help me? Mr. Coco just laughed and said, "Oh, my dear, have you ever seen me under the bed? Even that is none of my business. How is the trap concerning me? I can't help you." The rat went to Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat, can you help me? They have laid a trap under the bed. They want to kill me. Can you help me, please? God said, "No, even my size, you can see me. I can't help you. Even they can't allow me to enter. How can you say I help you?" Okay. Mr. Rat went to the cow. Maybe since he's big, he can help. "Mr. Cow, I need your help. They have laid the trap under the bed. They want to kill me." Cow said, "Are you not seeing my horns? Are you not seeing my body? Can I enter under the bed? Even that is none of my business. Why do you disturb me? I can't help you." Now, this rat got stranded and had nothing to do, only to think of another method. In the process of thinking for another method, a trap here went caught something. Now a man and a wife heard the sound of a trap. A woman rushed to pick to check what the trap has caught. Now putting the hand, thinking that is a rat, it was a snake. A snake bit a woman. A woman was poisoned by a snake. She's in danger of death. A man put her under treatment, bringing herbs and whatever. In the process of treating, the neighbors came, the relatives. Now they had to eat. Whom should they eat? Mr. Cock. They killed him. And in the process of treating the wife, because the snake was too poisonous, she died. And when she died, the people who came for mourning and preparing for the funeral, they had to eat. And now it is somewhere a big number. They have to eat. They killed the goat. Now during the time for funeral, they had to kill a cow. Now everything died except a man and a rat. Even a man was stranded just buying a trap. The trap has cost him almost everything. Even he became too depressed, too stressful, he ended up committing suicide, and he also died. Who remained in the room? Who remained in the house? Mr. Rat, whom they wanted to kill. Now, the moral of the story. You people, sometimes when we see people in problems, we may think it is none of our business. Yet, in one way or the other, that problem will affect us. Especially this one concerns leaders. I will continue talking about leaders because you people, you have the capacity to put everything in order. As long as everything is in disorder, you know that you are not a good leader. When you see a person suffering in your regime, or is having a problem of poverty, or poor health, or poor environment, that person needs your help. It is not his or her personal problems. It concerns you as a person. As people, we need to help. We need to, sometimes even we don't need to be asked to help. You just need to recognize a problem and help there and then. To initiate, to help, because you don't know what is happening. This one goes to even to organization, people who are working in groups or in management. When you are workmate or somebody who is under your management gets a problem, don't think it is his or her own problems, because a problem for one member may affect the whole company. Like now, what is happening with corona? You may think somebody has got corona, that is his problem. No, it will affect you. How? Economically, they will lock you down. Isolation. Somebody is the one who is suffering, but the problem affects you all. Which means, humanly speaking, we are intertwined. We are all together socially. We are social beings. We live together. Therefore, in every situation, when you find somebody suffering or somebody needs help, always try to help. But if we help, why is it that our countries are still poor? If we help, why is it that people are still dying in hospitals? If we help, why is it that we don't have good facilities, health facilities? The problem, we solved those people who are sick. That is their problem, because for us, we can go to any hospital. No. As a leader, you need to be concerned, or as a person, You need to know somebody's problem. If you can manage, try to manage. If you can't, at least look for any way of being with that person. But try to put something, because it will return it to you. It may affect you and that person may remain. Okay? Therefore, let's try to know each person's problem. Today, I want to discuss more about Africans, especially Ugandans, and the way we handle things in relation to my story. Africans, what is disturbing us is borrowing ideas, cultures, even concepts from other countries, not minding of our cultures, our values, and our way of being. We forget that things. Because when you see our real nature as Africans, we are not egoistic, we are not selfish, by the way. Africans, we are blessed with a good heart. But how did it come? It came with the philosopher, John Mbiti tried to defend Africans as people who think. He wrote that Africans, with his philosophy of Ubuntu, Africans have a communal spirit. That's why they say, I am because we are, and since we are, therefore I am. Which means for an African, it's not about himself alone. It is about the community which he lives in. It's not about himself alone. It is about the society which brought him up. That's what the society defends a person, and he defends the society. Or without the society, he can't survive. And him without the society can't survive. We are interdependent. Okay? But that spirit has died because we inculcated the culture, or we adopted the culture of the Western. And these Western have the philosophy, their philosophies from Descartes. He says that I am because I think. Do you see that different? Africans will say, I am because we are. But for Europeans, I am because we think. Those are different things. For European, that's why they concentrate much on their mental workings. But for us, we concentrate on love, on communal based. We concentrate on creativity. We use both mind and heart. But a European always thinks of using the head. They are always in thinking as the highest quality. They value thinking very much. But for African, we value the community, we value the society. But when we inculcated this value, it shaped us into other beings. We are not Europeans and we are not Africans. And that is a confusion. We want to think on ourselves. We don't want to care about the society. But even we don't know how to think. Thinking for an African, there is a big problem. Because for him, when he starts thinking, he thinks of killing, of trying to embezzle funds, corruption. That is a way of just bringing fame. He's thinking of how he can gain fame, how he can gain power, how he can gain material things. That is African way of thinking. But for Western, way of thinking is creativity, being poetic, meditation, writing books, okay, being creative. That separates him apart from the society because he's a star in what, or is good at writing books. Okay, but for Africans, we only think of how should I gain from some. That's why people have started killing their fathers. That he needs the land, or what? You find the father is selling the daughter, needs money. Everybody on his own, God for us all. Therefore, I want to remind you to think in the concept of an African way of thinking. Okay, let's think of our brothers. Let's think of our community. Let's think what you are is not your own making. It is the community that brought you, that produced you, and it will bury you. You can't escape away from the community. You need to take care of the community as well as the community taking care of you. Politicians, stop segregating yourselves because you have gone to higher posts, you forget people. Because you have become rich, you forget where you came from. That's really bad. That's not the spirit of Africa. Africa, we should have the spirit of love of the community. That's the only way we can liberate our nations, by going back to our roots, by thinking as Africans, as seeing yourself as an African. Okay. Number 2 is about politics. Politics is the idea from West. Even I don't know whether we have a word politics in our languages, our Bantu languages. Do we have it? For us in our language, we call it over poko poko, over what? Ebyobufuzi. Yes, politics is the art of leadership, which means it involves a lot of things. But what we had leaders, which means we had our politics. And what was our politics? It was monarchical, not democratic. Now we wanted to bring democratic. Do you think there is any democratic state in Africa? They are just disguising themselves to be democratic, but they are not democratic. They are just aristocrats. They rule for the big people, they rule for the rich. There is no way like politics. Just politics brings division. It just divided us. Since it is by the concept of colonialism, because they are fighting political wars to bring in the issue of colonies and whatever, they divided us. Since they divided us, they continued imparting us other aspects of division. How can you divide you? Like small Uganda, you find the people are dividing in different groups, my political parties. Now political parties, to separate you from different ideas, every person is having another idea. This one is thinking, how can you separate yourself as politician? If you want to be politician, all of you be politicians. What's wrong with that? If you are thinking politically, you think for one party. Why do you divide yourself? For me, I'm people power, manya NRM, UPC. Why all this division? It's because it is an idea from out. We had no those divisions. And imagine for them, they are using it to develop themselves, because for them they have the system of Democrats and other parties, but they live in harmony, and each party has the constitution to follow, and they just relate the issues to bring development for the countries. But for us, we don't know how to use it. We have started abusing ourselves. I don't know when did we start abusing our leaders. When did we start abusing our leaders? Who are you to abuse a leader anyway, if you are not a leader? I wonder a person who comes out and start abusing his president. I think if he gets even the other president, and the president is trying to vote for, he will again abuse him if he comes into power. Because it is now normal to abuse the president, normal. But sincerely, where were you born? Eh? Are you from a good family? Any person, like you people who are misusing the technology by drawing the cartoons of our leaders, my dear, that's not our culture as Africans. Can you imagine a person coming out and start abusing the king or the kapaka? That's not good. And that's what you should see. You should see your leader over on local level, on the village level. You should not abuse any leader, because we believe, we Christians, we believe any leader is anointed from God, because not anybody can become a leader. Okay, you find those people who are abusing the president, who are drawing cartoons. Even in his family, there is no a counselor. These are the people drawing our leaders. Then there is a language which has come out of sharing words, obscene words on these bloggers. There is the way they speak a word. You wonder, how can you speak a word to your fellow like that, as if he's not an African, as if he's not a Ugandan? You just... And moreover, is a public figure. You are not a public figure. You start abusing a public figure. You don't know what he has passed through to struggle to become what he is. And you start abusing. Now, like how can you start abusing Bob Wine? Who are you to abuse Bob Wine? He has made his name make yours by doing good things. Why should you abuse him? Okay? Why should you abuse artists? Why do you start abusing your president? You don't know that a country cannot survive without a president. Whether he's a dictator, or he's a bad, or he's what, but he's a president, and he's your president. When it comes to elections, choose your leader, but don't abuse the current president. It's like abusing yourself. If you don't respect your leaders, when will you respect even the one who is going to come? You will abuse him in case he fails. Why do you abuse leaders? Because this is another culture. This is something from anywhere. It's not part of us. And when we welcomed it, we can't use it because it is not part of us. Politics is not part of us. I normally see how people are enthusiastic in the way of handling, the way they handle their cultural leaders. That's when you see the spirit of an African. I don't know what they're thinking about, because you have even the Zulu, we have what? I don't know why is it that we Africans, we are degrading each and every concept about Africa, even to the extent that we are degrading our cultural leaders. Even the cultural leaders are comfortable with their status. I don't know whether they are comfortable. I don't know. Why can't we go back to our roots? Because I have never heard of the war between like Bunyoro and Uganda until the colonialists came. That's when they started fighting. See how they brought us just that division? They brought another way of ruling system just to disorganize us. Now we have started abusing ourselves. We are stealing the money because we are the one who are we are not sure whether we are going to get another term. You have to collect the money before they kick you off. That's why corruption will never end in Africa, because too much competition for power. People are fighting for power. People are fighting for fame. But we lived in a communal spirit. We lived as brothers and sisters. But now it is all about the scramble for power. Scramble for material gain, scramble for spiritual, what, I don't know. We are all divided, too much chaos. I don't know where. Is it a sign of development, or it is just there is no way? We need to go back to our roots. For example, I'm not suggesting we go back to monarchical, but depending on my view or my research, the countries which are under monarchical system are doing well, because they live in a communal way. They live with one love. But if we continue Africans consuming each and every idea that is coming, we shall keep fighting until we go back and recognize our identity and recognize the true self. Another thing which has brought division is religion. This is another word which is not in our languages as Africans, by the way. Religion. What is religion in your mother tongue? Do you have religion in our mother tongue? Because this is not, there is one philosopher, John Mbiti, said that Africans, we are notorious religious, that we don't have, to the extent that we don't have the word religion, that our religion is part of us. When an African could move with his religion. If he's in the garden, he could go there with the garden. He could go there with Katonda way. He would pray to God to bring rain, to fertilize the soil and to get good harvest within the garden. There is no need of going where? To the church. No. He could pray there and then. He knew he's with the word, with his God. But with the coming of the religions, my dear, I don't know how many denominations are in Christianity. Pentecostals, Maya Reformation, Maya Divine, Maya Miracle Church, Maya... Oh my God, everybody is now cocooning himself. If you can get a group of 5, you can make your own church. Sincerely, Jesus Christ was ready to say, I came to bring division and fire. And how I wish it should be burning. Now it is burning Africans. We are all divided. You are not, you be divided in politics here, divided in religion. You will be confused completely. I wonder, I don't know why. It is the issue of, yes, Christianity is good and it brought us the right to know the gospel, to know true God, to praise God. But why should we divide ourselves? Why should we start even backbiting other denominations? You find a pastor standing on the pulpit preaching about another religion instead of preaching about love and peace and the sins in the country, like corruption, is talking about another religion. Who are you to question what God has ordained? I remember even the disciples asked Jesus, we have had somebody preaching in your name. Should we go and stop him? You know what he replied? He said, anybody who is not against you is yours. You people, if you believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord, you believe in God. Even the Muslims believe in Allah, that is one God. Why do you backbite each other? Why do you talk nonsense about each other? Why can't you live in harmony? Why do you say, man, this one praise this thing? The minister of religious affairs and should be the one concerning about this issue. Should control the standards of religion, because religion has lost meaning. The other time in history, religion was to influence the political structure, or the religion was the one to almost to anoint or to mandate the leader. But nowadays, you find a priest the one begging the politician to get money. Why? You find a pastor is begging a politician. No. Traditionally, historically, and even the way divinely, a politician, the one who is supposed to go and look for the graces from a pastor. But we pastor, we are beggars. In Proverbs, they say that my child never be a beggar. I'm tired of pastors who are begging, even begging from the poor people. This is time to go back to our African concept. The concept of having the region. Like it is in Mark chapter 3. No, John chapter 3. Where this story of a Samaritan woman, in its conclusion, the story in the conversation, the end of the conversation, it said that this is the right time to pray God in the spirit. Okay? We should not see God in the pastors or in the churches or in what, but to see him within ourselves, within other people, within the poor, within our leaders. We should see God in each and every person and in each and every environment you are in. That's why you people, you get despair and you start going to take money to those pastors. You have made them rich because you don't recognize God within you. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. You are God. You have the image of God. You are created in the image of God. God breathes the spirit within you. You are with God. Your power, your word has power. Your mind has power. Your thoughts has power. Everything, you can recreate everything, and you can put the environment you want. Why do you go to pastors? Secondly, about religion, the interpretation of the Bible. You see, this Bible, the Bible is more of a library. That's why it is from the word Biblia, meaning library. It is a library of books. It's not one book. There are many books. We believe it was inspired by the Holy Spirit, but it was written by man. And that's why it was written by man. That's why it has a lot of errors. It has a lot of contradictions. Therefore, to interpret it, you need to study the Bible. You need to have to study exegesis of the Bible. You don't need just to come out and start reading the Bible. Who are you to interpret the Bible? What have you studied about the Bible? Do you know how many languages it has passed through to come to the conclusion of your little language? It has passed through many translations. You need to study exegesis and know the real context within the Bible. But you people, when you see one verse, you go with it and you become mad. No, that is not an inspiration. That is growing mad. We need to inquire from the Holy Spirit to guide us to study the Bible, to go for further studies about the Bible if we want to become a pastor. You people stop misleading people. Stop misleading people. You mislead people. You talk about you quote words which you cannot even explain. I think there is a need for the government to regulate the starting of churches within Africa. There is a need for a system to stop those people. Just a mere senior believer has just, I have got the inspiration, I've got the revelation, God has appeared to me, I need to preach. Who are you to preach? What do you know about preaching? You don't know that preaching is also an art. It also needs you to study how to handle people. Therefore, you people, the government should wake up about the divisions which are within our denominations and our religions. That's why I like Muslims. Only they have started misreading about the translation of the Quran. Earlier time it could not be translated. You should first study its language, then you read it. Then that's when you will understand the Quran. But when it comes in English, yet it was written in Greek, in Arabic, how will you interpret it? You need to first study Arabic, then you read the Quran. That's when you will understand it. Okay. How I wish even the Bible could remain in Latin, in Vulgate. Maybe people could not be misleading because people are too lazy to study. People don't want to study. Maybe it could regulate these people who are just joking around. But when you translate translating things which are funny, and we have different theological fields. Now we have a lot of versions. They have removed the books. They are making their own canons. I don't know what is really happening with things concerning religion. There is a need for these interreligious kind of organizations, ecumenism. You people, you should come out, the cardinals, the what, you should come out and discuss about this issue with the government to regulate the starting of other denominations. The ones we have are enough. They have brought enough division, and that is enough. They are destroying our culture as Africans. That point, hope it will be taken. I will conclude with the topic about education. All these points are about division within Africa, the things which are bringing division in Africa. Education system. Education system the curriculum was designed purposely for a master slave, a slave master. How to handle, how to manage people, how to manage slaves. And whenever he could produce a son, that son would be taught in that curriculum. How to be a master, how to be a boss. But whenever they could teach to Africans, they could teach them how to serve the master. That you should study these subjects so that you may serve the master very well. Now that concept of slavery is still within our minds, that we study to work for other people. We study to work for outside countries. That we need to study. Imagine a person can study up to senior 6 when he does not know what the real work is going to do. His career, he does not know his career. He's just there studying, heaping all content in the head. That's why sometimes they reach to a point that they cannot balance the concept in their mind because they are confused. Even they don't have the real objective of study. Why am I studying? You find a doctor, when he finishes to study, is a driver. There's a lot of a confusion. Somebody who have graduated as an engineer, you find him is a farmer. Education, it was designed for the masters. But our African way of education was too practical, too productive, too innovative, that you could grow when knowing what you are going to do. For example, when you are born within the family of cattle keepers, they have to train you how to handle cows, how to treat them, how to take them to the field. Practical education, technical education. That is our way of education. Stop this issue of man graduate and go and look for the job. No. We need to go study and look and create a job. Study and do something. Study and go back and do something. Let's bring up our people. Let's try to inculcate the culture of practicability. Not to study to look for a job. You people who have suffered, who are looking for jobs, my dear. You go in the interview when you are 1,000 and they want only 2. You joke. Sometimes they say, depending on your appearance, no, you go. People looking for a job, it was not part of Africa to look for a job. But I don't know. I don't know what the government is thinking about. And they no longer care. As long as they reach in the office, they don't care. Over you go and suffer, over you die. None of my business. Like what? Like a cock. Yet it is our business. This is our business as Africans. We shall continue being slaves until we go and reorganize our way of being. Let's stop this system of running for a job. Let's run for... Like example, these people who invented the aeroplanes, they were 2 brothers. Did they study anything? This is it Henry who invented the locomotives, the vehicles and whatever. He was just in the mining area and was a poor man. No study. Therefore, let's wake up. Let's go and work for our identity. Let's also create something. Let's not be consumers. We used to make our things, but now we want from outside. Ramogini outside. But thank you for, I want to appreciate Kira Motors, who are trying to make vehicles in Uganda. Thank you. Still great. I'm very proud of now Uganda because we can also manufacture vehicles. Okay. Sincerely, we need to be innovative. We need inventors. We need people who can create jobs. We are tired of working from outside. We are tired of working for our bosses abusing us. My dear, it's not easy. Looking for capital. The government, if it is our money, you need to reorganize, make sure our currency is constant, is valuable. Because this is our problem. It's not about my trap mom looking for a job. No, it's not my problem. It's the problem even of the government. Okay? What are you leaving? You are going to die, and you leave your children and grands will suffer. They will suffer. And that is not, I don't want that in my country. I've seen enough. I will not stop. And I've started talking until otherwise I will talk. Oh. Thank you for listening to me. And may God bless you.